a request for Hidemi in Tokyo, Japan. That was Prima by Fujikaze. As I said I would, now we will. Opening up the email, VORWINFO@gmail.com, saying hello to a few listeners tuned into the broadcast right now. I'd like to say hello to Jeff, who is tuned in on 97.05 kilohertz on his Helicrafters radio. He's tuned in from the Hawaiian island of Molokai, getting a very good signal of the broadcast. Hello to Charlie, who is tuned in. First-time listener from Sydney, Australia, says, I'm loving the show. Thank you, Charlie. I'd also like to give a shout-out to Jim in the Santa Ynez Valley of California, who caught the broadcast on 9.705 megahertz. Very strong signal, he writes. And now, heading over to East Asia, we hear from Peter, who is listening in from Taiwan in China, getting an extremely strong signal of the broadcast. First-time listener on 97.05 kilohertz. We also hear from Akiyoshi, listening in from Fukuoka in Japan. Sent in a very nice detailed reception report. Said, thanks for playing my requested song last week, and your signal was fantastic. SINPO rating of 55555, which is quite literally as good as it gets. I'd like to say hello as well to Mo, who is tuning into the program from Nanning in the People's Republic of China. The receiver used was a Texun PL660 receiver, which I say from experience is most definitely a good portable radio, and the reception was equally good. SINPO rating there was 55444. Very nice to see. Hello to Seiji in Gifu City, Japan, was tuning in on 97.05 kilohertz. Says thanks for continuing these broadcasts each and every week. He also added, I'm amazed that this program is listened to all over the world since it is broadcast from the Far East, although perhaps it's because the output power is 300 kilowatts. Your sentiment is the same that I hold, as a matter of fact. It is quite surprising that the reach of this broadcast is as large as it is, but it's certainly a very welcome surprise, and those 300 kilowatts obviously keep this broadcast going a very long way. The signal, as a matter of fact, makes it all the way into North America and even South America too, as you'll see in a moment. We have a report that came in verifying this from Hugo, who's tuned in from Santiago, Chile. I was listening in last week on 97.05 kilohertz. Says, I listened to you this morning, and the signal is perfectly clear here in southern South America. So going all the way from Japan to Santiago, Chile, with excellent reception. How amazing that is right there. Staying in the Americas, we also hear from Mario Vasquez, tuned in from Veracruz, Mexico, also getting a good signal on 97.05 kilohertz. Hello to Hajime, tuning in from Miyake, Japan. I listened into the program, sent in a very comprehensive reception report, strong signal, and enjoyed the music likewise. We hear from Thomas in Keelung City, Taiwan, who is quickly becoming a regular listener of the broadcast. He got an excellent signal on his Sanjian ATS 909X2 receiver, listening with just the telescopic antenna. Extremely clear, perfect reception. I'd also like to send my regards to Kenji, tuning in from Yokohama City, Japan. He said, it's with great pleasure to hear your broadcast, and even while there's a little bit of fading, I can hear your signal perfectly. We hear from Atsuhiku, regular listener in Nagoya, Japan, says, did you receive the report from my friend in Chile? Indeed I did. And you continue, Atsuhiku, that was a propagation of over 18,000 kilometers. And I was amazed when I saw that. The reception in Japan is also very good. It is truly remarkable the way shortwave broadcasting is, the fact that one signal is able to traverse from one side of the world to the other so clearly at that. And even as someone who's been doing this broadcast for a while and has been a listener for longer, the phenomenon never ceases to amaze me. I'd like to say hello likewise to Jose, first-time listener in the city of Sao Paulo, Brazil. He caught the broadcast on 97.05 kilohertz, said, "It's my first time listening in. Could you please send me a broadcast schedule so I can know when to catch the next airing?" With pleasure. And we have time for a few more shout-outs. I'd like to say hello to Masaru, who's listening in to the broadcast also from Fukuoka Prefecture of Japan. Got an excellent signal on 97.05 kilohertz. Says, "I enjoyed your program. Extremely strong signal." So thank you so much for your report likewise. And a few more quick shout-outs. I'd like to say hello to Craig listening in from Perth, Australia. Mohammed Haidir Hasim listening in from Penang, Malaysia is tuning in as well on 97.05 kilohertz, listening in on a Texon PL330 receiver. And I'd like to give a big shout-out to Geoffrey, tuning into the program from Chiba, Japan. Huge thank you to everyone out there tuned into the broadcast right now. What a pleasure it is to have you all listening in. I think we could squeeze in another request or two. We hear from Noboru in Niigata City, Japan, who'd like to hear the selection Try Your Love by Third World.